G'day to all adventurers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well as usual. I'm in the shed here today just prepping the bike for its next big adventure, which is coming up very shortly. But while I'm here guys, I thought I'd do a quick run around on the bike and show you guys all the mods and extras that I've added to this thing over the last 5 years and why in my eyes I think it's a perfect lightweight adventure bike. Let's go take a look. So guys, this is my 29E model Suzuki DRZ400E or DRZ400E before you guys jump in the comments and tell me that I'm saying it wrong, as you always do. But I've had this thing since brand new, so 5 years of ownership, and in those 5 years I've done almost 30,000 kilometers and added everything that you can see here. So I think I've got a pretty good idea of what works on the bike and what I like anyway. So quick run through of what I've got on here, because I always get a lot of questions from people asking what I've got on the bike exactly. So time for an updated run through, which should help all you guys out. I will try and put as many links down below in the description of the video to all these products that I got here. Obviously some of them I've had on here for years, so I might not be able to find the exact link, but I'll do my best to put them all down below to help you guys out and find any of these products that I have if you want them. And if you do get them guys, make sure you tell those companies that I sent you. That'll help me out massively as well. But let's get into it. I figure the easiest way to do this guys is start down the bottom, work our way up to the top, get all this done. Guys, starting off down the bottom here with the tyres. These are the Motos Tractionator Desert HTs that I've got, front and rear. A lot of sand riding where I'm going on this adventure, so that's the reason I've gone with those. Ultra heavy duty tubes inside, front and rear as well, as I always do. Usually don't have a drama. Working up from the tyres guys, the suspension, that's a big one. A lot of people ask me what suspension I've got. I did just get it redone a few months ago. I got it done at Ride Dynamics. They're here in the Gold Coast guys, so shout out to those guys. If you need some suspension work done, go and hit up those fellas, they'll do a great job for you. But I'm running Racetech suspension front and rear. I've got the front forks with the 52 kilo springs in there, and the rear is a 63 kilo spring, so that's just allowing for all the extra weight that I carry with the luggage, the toolkit here on the front. That's on there most of the time for me, so that setup works great. Now that setup works great for me on this bike guys, but if you're going to get your suspension done on your bike, just remember it's not a one size fits all solution. So make sure you tell the shop that you take it to what you plan to do with the bike, what your weights are with your luggage, your weight, all that kind of stuff. They'll be able to point you in the best direction for your spring setup. That's what works for me anyway, to give you guys a good idea. Now another really common question that I get a lot guys with this bike is what gearing sprocket setup am I running? Currently I've got a 15 tooth on the front and the 47 on the rear, but I did just change this 47 over with this. This is a 44 tooth sprocket. Now my most common setup is the 15 tooth front and the 44 rear. That's going to be your best bet for most of your adventure riding. So if you need to get onto those outback highways or the freeways and do 100, 110 kilometers an hour, 15, 44 is probably the best setup for that. It's a good all-rounder. But for this trip in the sand, I've just switched back to the stock 47 on the rear, just to give me a few extra revs in the soft stuff. So obviously this comes stock with a 14 tooth front, so that's a mod I've done there. I've added the 15 tooth front sprocket, and when you do that, the stock cover that comes on that front sprocket doesn't work anymore. It doesn't fit, so you either have to take it off and get rid of it and add something else, or just leave it open. It's up to you, but I've gone and chucked on the B&B Offroad front sprocket cover there, which looks nice and does the job well. So when I got my bike brand new guys 5 years ago, it came with the Cape York Extras pack. I don't know if they still come with them these days, but if they do, try and get your hands on one of them. It comes with a few goodies that are very handy. One of those that came in that pack is this bash plate here, Suzuki bash plate. It's about 5mm thick, really sturdy, does a great job. It also came with some radiator guards. They work well here with a larger tank, which I'll get to in a minute. It also came with some extra bars, so I've got some Pro Taper bars on there instead of the stock ones. I'm not exactly sure what size they are, but they're a lot better than the stock ones, that's for sure. A few more things here guys on this side while I'm down on the ground here. I've got the B&B Offroad case savers. Obviously there's another one on the other side. They do a great job. I've added some RHK pegs here. They just got a larger footprint and they do sit about 10mm lower than the stock ones, which helps me out. So if you're a taller guy, that'll help you out pretty well for standing up on those long days. I've also got down here on the stand, if you can see that there, I've got a larger base plate. I'll have to find the link for that one. I'm not sure where I got it from. I think it's an eBay or Amazon special, AliExpress special, something like that, but that works well. The stock one's just a bit too small. If the ground's soft or you're in sand, it just doesn't work. So the larger footprint on that really helps out. Also down here guys, I've got some OS rings from Kriega. That's what I use to tie my soft luggage to down here on the frame. They just Velcro around the frame, and then the OS rings sit there, which you can tie your luggage straight to, so very handy. And also down here on the side guys, just something I did myself, which was real easy to do. Just got some grip tape, and I've just cut up some strips for both sides and stuck it on the frame there. Obviously helps with a bit of grip with your legs to the bike, but it also protects the frame from getting all scratched up and looking crap. Really easy to replace that every year or so and make it look fresh again. All right guys, let's work our way up the front of the bike here. Pretty common question I get is, what fender is this? This is an RM fender off a 125 or 250 from the years 2001 to 2008. I think I just got it off eBay, but you can get them at a few different places. Not too expensive. You just got to add a couple of washers in here underneath the bottom just to space it out off the frame, so it works, but looks really great in my opinion. On top of the fender here guys, I got the B&B Offroad fender brace. I've used a couple of different brand fender braces and they've all given up and broken on me, so I've had this on here for 6 months or more now, and it's done a really great job. Hasn't let me down at all yet. And the fender bag on top that I got is the Acerbis fender tool bag. So guys, as for the headlight that I'm running here, just another eBay special, about $50 I think it cost me, but much better than the stock one. The stock light is basically like having a candle lit in front of you at night. Can't see anything, it does absolutely nothing. This thing's a lot better if you get stuck out riding at night. As for mounting it in there, I might have to do another separate video of how I actually done it. I made my own mount to suit it and fit it in there. So I know there are kits that you can buy that will suit lights like this and you can just chuck it in straight away, but I decided to make my own and it works pretty well. So guys, if you are going to get this bike for adventure riding, this is probably the most important thing you're going to need to put on your bike, and that's this right here, which is a Safari 17 litre fuel tank. It's sold as a 17 litre tank, but it can hold around 20 litres. It's just sold as a 17 litre tank because it'll use all that 17 litres of fuel normally before it says you run out, but there will be a few extra litres over on this other side that if you lay the bike down, you can get that over to the other side and use the total 20 to get you out of trouble. I've just added a little Ballards breather hose on top of the tank there just to get rid of the long hose that it comes with. But while I'm up front here guys, I'll get into this cockpit area. We'll check out all the little goodies that I got going on here. Got a little bit going on. So as I said guys, these bars are the Pro Taper bars that came in that Cape York kit. Much better than the stock ones. As I said, not sure what actual size they are. They do feel a little bit taller, but they still weren't tall enough for me, so I went and added some bar risers down in here. Probably about 30 mil total of rise in that. Works well for me for standing, so with those pegs being a little bit lower and the bars a little bit higher, it's nice and comfortable for me to stand up for long periods. Also up here guys, I've got my navigation. Now, this is a trusty old Grmin Zumo XT. There is an XT2 available, but I don't think there's too many differences from the regular XT, which is why I haven't upgraded. But it's just sitting on the mount that it comes with in the box, just down on the bottom on the handlebars there, and sitting up nicely above the bar pad there for me. So in a great spot to see it all the time. Works well in the shade, in the sun, whatever it is. Great bit of kit to help me not get lost. Now it's just ran directly down to the battery, so when the bike's on, this thing has charge going to it, which is great. Also for power up front on here guys, I've just added a new USB charger. This one has 2 USB ports. I did have one on there before that only had one, but I found myself needing a second one with all the camera gear that I have to video all these adventures. Another thing I got going on up here guys, which I don't really need here in Queensland, but I put it on when I lived down south and it got a little bit colder, but I've got some Oxford heated grips. They're pretty good though. I have used them a few times up here in the winter time in Queensland, and yeah, they're great. If you're gonna be riding in cold climates, get yourself a set of those. Your hands will thank you. I've got my little GoPro mount on here. You guys might not need one of them, but I'll mention that there anyway. That's just to get some shots when I'm videoing. And then also guys, I got some hand guards on here. I was just trying to find what brand they are. I did just switch them over a couple of months ago. I did have the Barkbusters brand ones on there, which came as part of that Cape York kit, but they were pretty well banged up and destroyed. So Mono from Motorcycle Tyre Warehouse sent me these just as a bit of a gift. So I can't remember what brand they were when I opened them up, but you get yourself a good set of hand guards on your bike. It'll save your levers when you drop your bike, you don't bust your levers. And quick mention too guys, these levers are just the stock ones, but I have gone and cut the ends off them just to make them a bit shorter, much easier to use than having the full length stock ones. So that's just about everything there in the cockpit that I got going on guys. So we'll work our way down in the middle of the bike. This one right here, probably another really big important one that you're going to want on your bike for those long adventures. But this is the Seat Concepts comfort seat. I've just gone with a standard height. You can get it in a tall or a short version depending on what you want, but definitely get yourself one of these for your bike. It'll save your butt out on those long rides. The stock one is terrible, so change that seat as soon as you get the bike. Also, I forgot to mention down here on the side guys, these Steg Pegz. These things are so good, especially for sand riding. I absolutely love them, but on those hill climbs, you can just get the side of your boots right into them, dig into it, and keep your legs in place there so you're not working quite as hard. They're a great addition to the bike. Now my tank bag right here guys, this is the Nelson Rigg tank bag. I'll obviously get the link for you so you can find the specific one, because I do have a bunch of different ones, but that one's just mainly there for my camera gear. It houses a bunch of that stuff that I need to get to really quickly. It is a bit big. I'd like to have a smaller one, but I need to carry this stuff, so I can't really avoid it. That's where it has to go. Moving down to the back luggage, guys, I've got the Kriega setup. I absolutely love this stuff. I've had it since day dot on this bike, and it works absolutely brilliant for this setup. But on the bottom, I've just got the OS dirt bike base from Kriega, and then that ties to the bike, and then your bags just tie to that, and you can interchange with whatever size bags you want. These ones here that are on there right now, that's a 12-litre bag, another 12-litre bag on this side, and a third one, which I always run up the top here just for my clothes and toiletries, stuff like that for the back one, so it's nice and light up top. But I do have two 18-litre bags as well, which I do interchange depending on what kind of trip I'm doing. If it's a really big outback trip, or even when I went to Cape York, and that's like almost 2 weeks on the road, need a little bit of extra storage, I'll take the 18-litre bags, but the 12 litres will do just fine for this trip that I'm going on shortly. And just on top of this bag at the back, that's just my camp chair. It's a Mountain Designs camp chair, just got from Anaconda. I've had that for 3 or 4 years. It's a bit beat up, but still doing the job, so we'll keep running until it can't run anymore. Now, giving me the ability to carry this luggage on the back underneath, guys, is the very important B&B Offroad rear rack. I've just got that in the black. I think the black looks best on this bike, especially with the black fuel tank at the front there. Sets it off nicely. And down the very back of the bike here, guys, with my tail light and blinker setup and my number plate, I've just chucked a tail tidy on there. It's just an eBay special, but I've had that on there for years and haven't had an issue. There are obviously heaps of different kits you can get, but I think it was around $30 off eBay. Can't really go wrong with that. So guys, just two things to mention which you can't visually see on the bike that I've done. First one is a different air filter in this bike. It's a funnel web filter. It covers a bit more area on the filter itself, so it should last a little bit longer than the normal ones that you get. Catch a bit more dust if it needs to. And the second thing, guys, a really important one, I believe, if you're going to take this bike off-road at all, and that is removing the side stand switch. Now, if you didn't know, when this bike comes new, it has a switch on the side stand, so if the side stand is down at all, you won't be able to start the bike. It won't let you. It won't give you power. So sometimes if the spring on your stand gets loose at all and it's not holding the stand perfectly, if you're going through some bumps, some G-outs, whatever it might be, if your stand is bouncing down just a little bit, it'll hit that button and it cuts power to your bike just for a split second, and then you'll get power back, lose it again, come back. It's very, very frustrating. I've had it happen to me, which is why I've removed it. It's a pretty annoying one. Obviously it must be there for safety reasons and whatnot, but when you're going off-road on this bike, it's very, very annoying. So look that up, remove it, and save yourself the dramas. Well, there you have it, guys. That's a quick run through of my bike and everything that I've added to this thing over the last 5 years. As you can see, I've added an awful lot of stuff, but everything has a purpose, everything has a place, and this thing is pretty much set up just the way I like it. There's not really anything else I need to do to it. One thing that I've always wanted to do, which I haven't bothered, is an exhaust. I'd love to chuck a different exhaust on there, not for performance reasons or anything like that, but just for the sound and the look, really, just to make the bike look a little bit cooler. So if you've got any suggestions, guys, put them down below. Let me know what you think. But I do have one really, really big mod that's coming to this bike in the next couple of months. I'm really excited to get it on there. I'm going to make a video out of it and show you guys what I'm doing. It should liven this bike up a lot and really change the way it rides. So if you think you know what that might be, let me know down in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed this one, guys, please like the video. I hope it helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see that future mod that I am doing and the next adventure that I'm taking this bike on. If you like your sand riding, I think you're really, really going to enjoy this one, guys. So check out them links below. I'll try and add as many as I can so I can help all you guys out and get these products on your bike, get out and have your own two-wheel adventure. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one.